Trump blames both sides for Charlottesville violence. Donald Trump said both sides ought to blame for violence at a white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. I am sure you guys remember this. The reason I bring this up now is because of the deportations of people of color and his racist Stephen Miller. Let me give you the history of a white supremacist. Miller housed Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, and as the 12th United States Homeland Security Advisor that Trump hired again. First time he worked for Trump, he was fired for trying to rape a staffer that worked for Trump. Trump fired him. After he fired Miller, Miller went wild. Top 5 most awful things you need to know about Stephen Miller. Few political figures have shaped U.S. immigration policy as destructively as Stephen Miller. During Donald Trump's first term, Miller served as senior advisor and speechwriter. Now he's back as Trump's deputy chief of staff and continues to play a major role behind the scenes. Few political figures have shaped U.S. immigration policy as destructively as Stephen Miller. During Donald Trump's first term, Miller was the chief architect of the Trump administration zero-tolerance immigration policy, which led to the forced separation of thousands of children from their parents at the southern border. According to Vanity Fair, Stephen actually enjoys seeing those pictures at the border. His own words on the policy? He called it a simple decision. Even now, hundreds of children remain separated from their families. The policy was condemned by the United Nations and numerous human rights organizations as cruel, unnecessary, and a violation of international law. During Trump's first term, leaked emails revealed that Miller frequently shared white nationalist talking points in publications, including content from Dare and the Camp of the Saints, a notoriously racist and anti-immigrant novel embraced by far-right extremists. The Southern Poverty Law Center characterized Miller's communications as open white nationalism. Over 100 members of Congress called for his resignation. However, Trump stood behind him along with many of the GOP. Before entering the White House, Miller worked under Senator Jeff Sessions, helping craft policies aimed at rolling back civil rights, weakening voting protections, and targeting marginalized communities. His work in government has consistently targeted people of color, immigrants, and LGBTQ+ Americans. In 2023, Miller's legal group, America First Legal, filed a complaint accusing Kellogg's of politicizing and sexualizing its products simply for releasing a Pride-themed Pop-Tarts box and featuring RuPaul's image on Cheez-Its. That's the kind of manufactured outrage Miller uses to push his far-right agenda. His rhetoric directly fuels discrimination and violence against already vulnerable groups. Miller's inflammatory tone isn't new. It dates back to his days at Duke University, where he penned right-wing columns attacking diversity, tolerance, and liberalism. In one article, he mocked Duke's efforts toward inclusion, calling the school's climate a shameful deficiency. That same combative style carried into his work for Trump, helping shape speeches and policies that escalated racial and cultural divides. His influence isn't just about policy. It's about poisonously reshaping the national conversation. Miller was a cause of white nationalist clash with counter-protesters in Lee Park. Unite the Right rally attendees gathered near the Robert E. Lee statue in Lee Park. White nationalists encircled counter-protesters at the base of a statue of Thomas Jefferson after marching to the University of Virginia campus with torches. Yes, Miller engineered the riot that day that killed one person and left many others hurt.